Thank you, Marty. Well, 40 years ago, the world first heard the song Classical Gas, a hit guitar instrumental. Here's a quick reminder for you in a classic video.
Ah, yes. You know you've heard it before, and the man who performed it is here. Mason Williams is on tour celebrating Classical Gas's 40th anniversary. Hard to believe it's been 40 years.
Boy, it is hard to believe.
It's built, and you're performing now on a tour. It's called Mason Williams and Friends. It's at the German House tonight.
Yes.
That's right.
With my partner here, John Doan.
And John Doan is with you.
Thanks so much for joining us
Sure.
this morning. You know, we had your stuff playing in the newsroom yesterday. We were on YouTube. So many versions of it, too, on YouTube, by the way. And
I'm delighted with that. Let me tell you. I'm glad so many people kind of got it into their own repertoire. That's fun.
Yeah, well, and everybody in the newsroom would stop and go, wait a second, I recognize that.
Yeah.
And they were trying to remember where they had heard it, because it seems like Classical Gas has made it into so many films, different soundtracks.
Shows,
Can you just remind us of a few of them?
Let's see. Well, it was in The Story of Us. It was on Frasier. It was on The Simpsons. Anyway, all kinds of things like that. And most recorded guitar piece by other artists of all time.
Yeah.
Most played on, most instrumental, most heard on the radio of all time.
It's like 6 million plays or something?
Yeah,
or?
from BMI,
Yeah.
which is pretty remarkable for an instrumental piece, because generally it's, you know, You Lost That Love and Feeling and Yesterday, those kinds of things. Songs are the big players on the radio.
So, okay, so it's the 40th anniversary of this song, okay? You look back at that video. I mean, did you ever think you'd still be playing 40 years later? And here you are with your good friend John. You're working together now. Did you think you'd be doing it?
You never know, but music is just, you know, such a great thing to be involved with, and the guitar next to the dog is man's best friend.
We've got to ask the name. Where'd the name come from?
Well, I originally wrote it as Classical Gasoline, and it was fuel for the classical guitar. And the copyist who arranged it for the orchestra abbreviated the word gasoline, so
It's a gas.
classical gas. And I didn't even know people were thinking of it as, hey man, it's a gas, but
Well, I thought that's what you meant. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool, you know?
it's an unintended consequence that I'll accept. Great.
So tell us about your collaboration with John now. You're performing tonight at the German House.
Yes, and this is an instrument called the harp guitar.
Didn't I just say that? I go, it looks like a harp / guitar.
It is
That's
a harp
right.
guitar.
Wow.
What's it like to play, John?
It's exciting. You can't really watch what you're doing because it gets confusing. There's too many strings, but it's an American instrument from a century ago. I'm trying to bring it back. Mason defined the guitar in many ways. I'm kind of trying to help redefine the guitar with all these strings, as strings up here and strings down here. And so do several solos and worked out duets, and it's really going to be a fun evening.
It's very much like a whole orchestra, because he's got high notes.
High notes and low notes. It has the range of the piano, except it's a lot easier to carry.
Sure.
You know, than
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. I mean, you're a pretty strong guy, but, you know, John, there's limits.
After that he is.
So let's hear something. What do you want to perform
Well,
for
how
us?
about classical gas, a little of that?
How about it? We'll let them play us to break, and then we'll come back in a
Did you
little bit.
mention our color
he
coordinated?
mentioned
you gotta
we're
take a look at
picture
this.
perfect today. The two
We
of
are.
us took a picture earlier because our outfits are matching.
Yeah.
That's right.
You must have seen me earlier in the broadcast, right? And then planned what you were going to wear?
I'm going to wear that shirt.
Right,
after.
right. All right, you guys play a little classical gas, and then we'll see in just a bit, too. We'll talk about more about the benefit in a little bit.
All right.
All right, maybe just start with tempo. 2, 3, 4. that, you'll have to come to the concert.
That was
We
fantastic.
appreciate it. And after the break, we'll hear a little bit more from these two. Thank
Okay.
You.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Audie.
Wow.
We'll be right back. All right, we're going to hear a little bit more
That's right.
now about what's going on at the German House tonight. There are still tickets available if you'd like to head on down to the German House to see Mason Williams and John Doan. I looked at Norma earlier when you guys were playing, and I just went, "This is so
Yeah,
cool to
it
hear
is.
it
The
in
music is
person. It really
fantastic.
is. Kind of gave me chills
Yeah.
because it is such a classical gas, which we were talking about just a few minutes ago, is such a popular piece. What do you want people to know about tonight at the German House?
Well, we play a really broad palette of things. There's folk music, there's country music, there's comedy. John plays a lot of Irish things on the harp guitar, and there's classical guitar, of course, and it's fun to cover so many different areas. And I'll be doing this tune that I wrote for the Smothers Brothers. It's the Smothers Brothers, a showbiz act with a sibling complex. They might as well be married, a life of arguments and no sex. So, anyway, that's a little taste of the comedy. I'm going to sing.
Wow, wonderful.
I'm going to sing things like Danny Boy. All anyone really wants to hear is you hit the high note. So it's like, it's I'll be there in the sunshine or in the shadow. Oh, Danny Boy, oh, Danny Boy, I love you so. And of course, we're going to feature John on the harp
Oh, it's so
guitar.
beautiful, that harp guitar. Mason, a lot of people have learned to play guitar listening to your music, and your music's the stuff they pick up when they're learning their chords and stuff like that. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I really think it was great that the tune inspired people to pick up the guitar, and of course it led them to all the other great guitar music. And so that's what I'm most proud of, is the fact that it inspired people to want to play guitar.
Where do you call home now? Where is home for both of you?
I live in Eugene, Oregon, and he lives in Salem.
Salem,
And-
Massachusetts.
Well, no, Salem,
Oh,
Oregon.
excuse me, Salem, Oregon. Okay, okay, yeah.
And-
I'm an East
The
Coast
other-
kind of mentality
That's
here.
right.
Sorry.
We're about 60 miles apart, so we travel back and forth to play and rehearse together. And,
Well, we are so glad you're here tonight.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for joining us. Can you play us out to commercial break?
sure, John, how about a little something on the harp guitar?
Yeah.